It's 4:30. This is WKYT This Morning. Family members of a missing Northern Kentucky couple are refocusing their search after weeks with no sign of the two. More on their search just ahead.
A Laurel County mother accused of taking off with her son and trying to kill a police officer will face a judge today. Details of her charges coming up.
And it's the first day of school for several kids in Kentucky today. Which schools are headed back so early? Ahead on WKYT.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Hope you had a good weekend. It's your Monday. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Let's get a check of the weather because it is a first alert severe weather day today.
First day of August, and here we go as we're tracking some showers this morning. Good morning, Micah.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I passed through showers. That's coming on into work across 75. Pretty heavy downpour, too. And it's going to be just to the south of downtown Winchester. Downtown Winchester, you're going to get some rain. There's no doubt about that. But the heaviest is actually just to the south of you. As you're rolling right toward the Mountain Parkway there in Clark County, that's going to be a heavy downpour. Mount Sterling, Camargo, Jeffersonville, you are next in line. You won't get a whole heck of a lot out of this in terms of adding up in the rain gauge, but it does come down hard. And it's very brief. Hit and miss showers for today and some thunderstorms at 85 degrees. And hit and miss means when you get hit by them, they're going to be heavy rain, still some moisture out there, and that could cause a few problems. We'll get into that forecast coming up.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you. It has been weeks since a Kentucky couple disappeared, and family members still don't have any answers. And now the family is pleading for any leads to help them find the bodies of the couple.
Crystal Warner and Bobby Jones were last seen July 3rd at a home in Washington County. Since then, friends and family have searched in several Kentucky cities. Lately, they've been focusing their search in Winchester, where the couple's car last seen driving around. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner talked to Jones's sister.
Well, we really haven't stopped since the first day that we found out him missing.
Bobby Jones and Crystal Warner have been missing for 25 long days.
We searched all the way from Springfield to Midway to Winchester, all the way to Red River Gorge.
Becky Isom is counting each day, and searching is only becoming more difficult.
You can't get your mind off of it, and trying to commit 100% to searching and then coming home and being a mom to 3 kids who don't know or understand what's going on. It's just, I guess, emotionally exhausting.
Isom says what's more is not having any answers. It's a guessing game. She says someone has to know something.
We just wish that the family, Craig Pennington's family would help us, is give us any clues as far as where he may have taken them.
Despite the agony, she says they're raising money to cover gas costs so searches can continue.
We have to have some kind of closure. I don't even want to believe the story is true, and I know once we find them, it will be a whole new heartache, but I feel like that's the only way that we could get closure.
Family is making a map, marking off where they've searched. They're planning another large search this coming weekend. In Lexington, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Well, the man charged with murder in the case, Craig Pennington, is scheduled to be arraigned this week in Washington County.
We learned some new details about an officer-involved shooting in eastern Kentucky. Police in Pike County say it happened yesterday morning on Phillips Branch Road in the Phelps community. State police say they were checking out a call about an assault at a home, and when they got there, they say 32-year-old John Casey assaulted a trooper. Investigators say that's when the trooper shot and killed Casey. Family members say they never saw the assault, and they tell us that Casey had just served some time on robbery charges and was turning his life around.
Well, it's something that you can't explain. You can't imagine something like that happening. It's just, it hurts you. You don't know how to explain it. You don't know how to get through it.
The trooper was taken to the hospital for some minor injuries. In Lexington, investigators are trying to figure out what caused a man to fall into a cemetery pond and drown. The Fayette County coroner says 29-year-old Luis Aravello Jimenez drowned yesterday morning. Firefighters say he was walking around the pond with his girlfriend when he fell. There's no fence around the pond. There are signs posted in the area. The pond is about 7 feet deep.
Today, a Laurel County mother accused of taking off with her son while under the influence of drugs will face a judge. 31-year-old Jamie Allen faces several charges, including attempted murder of a police officer. WKYT's Sabira Rayford talked to a deputy who says Allen attacked him while they were arresting her.
She was highly intoxicated. She began cursing. One of the other guys that was with me ran up to her, and at that point he realized she had a knife in her right hand, and he was yelling, "Drop the knife, drop the knife."
Sergeant Larry Parrott says 2 miles down Langnow Road in Laurel County is where they finally caught up with Jamie Allen and her 5-year-old son. They say they caught her on the side of the road looking to make an escape.
Figured out where she was. She was supposed to meet a gentleman to get possibly transported out of state. So we used that, and at about 10:30 last night, we were able to get a location on her. And we went in, and she was actually standing by the roadway waiting on the gentleman to pick her up.
That is when Parrott says she threatened them with a knife. They were able to secure the child, and he arrested Allen on multiple charges, including fleeing or evading police and attempted murder of an officer. Later, they went back to that area and arrested 47-year-old Terry Dude, who they say was helping hide Allen.
That she went to this friend's house, which is approximately 2.5 miles away, where we found her, from where we found the abandoned car.
In Laurel County, Sabira Rayford, WKYT.
Social Services has placed the child with his biological father.
2 young men are now facing charges after deputies in southeastern Kentucky say they broke into 2 schools. 22-year-old Chase Hoskins and 20-year-old Dewey Collette were arrested yesterday morning in Leslie County. Deputies say the 2 of them admitted to breaking into Stinnett Elementary and Leslie County Central High to steal money and snacks. Businesses near the schools are glad the men have been tracked down.
Breathe a little bit easier. And again, for our business being so close to the Wesley County High School, it does make you feel a little bit easier, breathe a little bit easier.
Deputies say they were able to use tips from the community to track the men down. School leaders say the schools are safe and are ready for the new school year. A Florida man is facing charges after hitting a Lexington teenager with a shovel at a beach. Police say 53-year-old Christopher Corosella was arguing with 18-year-old Christian Gies over a large hole that he had dug. They say Corosella got upset when Gies refused to stop digging. Gies' father told a Florida news station that Corosella took the shovel his son had left on the beach and hit him with it twice. Gies had minor injuries. Police in Oldham County have issued a golden alert for a young woman who they say, 21-year-old Caitlin Burchett, was voluntarily picked up by an unknown man and dropped off in Louisville. Burchett is currently a ward of the state and was staying in a transitional living facility. Police say she suffers from a mild intellectual disability.
In Madison County, state police are investigating what led up to a deadly crash. It happened early yesterday afternoon on Irvin Road near Waco. Dispatchers say 39-year-old Douglas Tackett Jr. lost control of his vehicle. It hit a guardrail and then crossed the lanes and rolled several times. The road was closed for more than an hour. Troopers tell us Tackett was taken to the hospital where he died. An unexpected crash in Wayne County, West Virginia to tell you about this morning. Police say 2 dogs were found behind the wheel of the car after it crashed into a Walmart. The woman who owns the vehicle left it running while she ran inside. The dogs managed to knock the car out of park. Police say the car started rolling towards a woman who jumped out of the way. Then it hit the edge of the building.
Dogs can be your best friends, and in this situation, they can be your enemy too.
I don't think those poor little dogs meant to do that. And neither of the dogs injured in the crash. There was minimal damage to the car and the building.
Lexington's newest high school is set to open in about a year. A group already has an idea for a name. Our partners at the Herald Leader report that a former co-worker of a Lexington firefighter who was shot and killed in 2004 wants it named for her. Brad Morris wants the new school to be called Brenda Cowan High School. Cowan was killed by a man who had killed his wife before paramedics got there. She was the first African-American female on the Lexington Fire Department and the first African-American female firefighter killed on the job in the U.S. This is the 3rd initiative for naming Fayette County's 6th high school. The school is being built along Winchester Road, and it is scheduled to open in August of 2017. Well, it is that time of year again, believe it or not.
I'll believe it.
Yeah.
Time for the kids to head back to school. While the majority of schools in our region have their first day on August 10th, a handful actually start back this week. Today, kids at Frankfort Independent Schools will have their first day back. And you can see the list of school start dates for Central and Eastern Kentucky on our website, WKYT.com. I just keep going back to that dog hitting the Walmart story. Oh, man. It's a Monday.
You got to move on.
I gotta move on. I just don't want to.
4:40 on WKYT this morning. We're just getting started with all the latest news as we get this new week and brand new month off and rolling.
Are you flying with the kiddos sometime soon? Moms Every Day has some tips to make the process easier when we come back.
A few thunderstorms roll through the region once again. It's going to be that summer-like pattern, warm, humid, afternoon possibility of a few rumbles of thunder. We're going to get into that coming up next. Looking at Defender Radar Network early this morning, holding on to a couple of showers outside early. And as I traveled in on 75, coming through southern Fayette County, I ran into this one. It's a pretty heavy downpour just south of Winchester, rolling across the Mountain Parkway as we speak, heading toward Camargo, Jeffersonville, Mount Sterling. Those are areas that have had tremendous amounts of rain and some problems the past several days. But with this one, you won't have any problems. It's just a brief, heavy shower. It's not going to cause any issues as it passes on by here in about 15 minutes or so. So as we go through the day, it's again hit and miss again today, which means if you do get the rain, you'll get some heavy downpours and the possibility of some ponding there on the roads. But if you don't, it's going to be pretty humid, pretty warm too, at 85 degrees. It's right around average. And the flash flood threat is not widespread. There are chances here and there, and that's why we have that first alert severe weather day with you. And the best chance is going to be in this yellow shaded area, anywhere from, say, 64 down south. You go into the BG Parkway, you work your way off into, say, Somerset and the Lake Cumberland region. That's the area that we have the best chance to see an isolated flash flood risk, just like Friday and Saturday, where there were literally at one point one storm out there, and that was right over that Richmond area and just to the east of Richmond, or west of Richmond that is, and that caused a bit of an issue there on some of those roadways, but everybody else was dry. That's going to be the case for today, except for I do expect a few more storms than just one out there. So that's really what we're looking for, the isolated chance up north and over toward the east. 7-day forecast. Here's your look with that hit and miss chance today. Smaller opportunity for tomorrow, and you can see the next several days, it's just once again those hit and miss setups that we've had the past several days, and we're going to hold on to that as we head throughout your work week. Watch out for some ponding there on the road, some locally high water issues. That's going to be the case as we travel off towards your Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, still a 40% chance of rain. None of these days have great chances, but the chance is still there. So that's why we have that first alert severe weather day with you early this morning.
Okay, because if it comes in, you could have issues.
Absolutely.
Yep, gotcha. All right, coming up on 446 right now, going through security at an airport can sometimes be a pain.
Yes, it can. Even more so with children, apparently. Moms Every Day has some tips to make that a little bit easier.
I'm Pam Tauser. Here's today's Mom's Minute. If you're flying with your children, the TSA has some suggestions to help save you time and get through security more smoothly. Before you head to the airport, check any bags your children pack themselves for items that could alert security, like toy guns or weapons. A toy grenade can shut down the entire checkpoint. If you're packing snacks, dried fruit, nuts, granola bars, cereals, crackers, pretzels, and cookies are all good options. For drinks and other food, remember the 3-1-1 rule. You're allowed to bring containers of up to 3.4 fluid ounces as long as they all fit in one quart-sized clear zip-top bag, and one bag is allowed per traveler. You're also allowed to bring an empty sippy cup and single packets of powdered drink mix if you don't want to buy expensive drinks at the airport. At the security checkpoint, remember, children 12 and younger keep their shoes on. While you're in line, remind kids that toys, blankets, and stuffed animals have to pass through the X-ray machine. Strollers, baby carriers, and booster seats also go through X-ray, but most electronics can stay in the bag.
For more ways to make mom's life easier, check out momseveryday.com.
For these tips and more, go to WKYT.com, click on Moms Every Day.
Our time this morning is 4:47. Great to have you with us. Monday morning on WKYT, August 1st for 2016.
The parents of a Muslim American soldier killed in Iraq urging voters to reject Donald Trump. We've got the latest from the campaign trail when we come back. Donald Trump is on the defensive after the Muslim father of a fallen U.S. soldier criticized the businessman during last week's Democratic convention.
Craig Boswell is at the White House with the latest now on Campaign 2016.
The parents of a Muslim American soldier killed in Iraq are urging voters to reject Donald Trump.
But he is a black soul, and this is totally unfit for the leadership of this beautiful country.
Khizr Khan slammed Trump's proposed Muslim ban during last week's Democratic convention.
Have you even read the United States Constitution?
While his wife Ghazala stood by his side.
She had nothing to say. Maybe she wasn't allowed to have anything to say. You tell me, but plenty of people have written that.
Ghazala explained in a Washington Post op-ed saying, Donald Trump has asked why I did not speak, because without saying a thing, all the world, all America felt my pain.
Hillary Clinton.
Campaigning in Ohio, Hillary Clinton says Trump's comments were inappropriate.
To have Trump do what he did, I don't know where the bounds are. I don't know where the bottom is.
Trump says he should be allowed to defend himself from what he called a vicious attack by Mr. Khan at the DNC.
We need to focus on protecting our homeland security. That's the issue, not the tragedy of the Khan family.
Trump questioned whether Khan's words were his own or from Clinton speechwriters, but Khan says he spoke from his heart. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
And Senator Mitch McConnell released a statement yesterday on Captain Khan saying, quote, Captain Khan was an American hero, and like all Americans, I'm grateful for the sacrifices that selfless young men like Captain Khan and their families have made in the war on terror. And, quote, I agree with the Khans and the families across the country that a travel ban on all members of a religion is simply contrary to American values. Earlier yesterday on Kentucky Newsmaker, Senator McConnell told WKYT that he will likely run for the U.S. Senate again in 2020. We have a clip of that interview on WKYT.com.
As for Kentucky's other senator, a new report shows that Senator Rand Paul has more than $300,000 in unpaid bills from his failed presidential campaign. According to the Herald Leader, Paul's campaign reported just more than $2,500 in cash as of June 30th. The campaign owes dozens of businesses and individuals for things like rent, phone, and internet access and various legal fees. Paul's campaign spokesperson released a statement yesterday saying, quote, all vendors are being paid in the normal flow of a campaign and everyone will be paid in full. Closing down campaigns takes time, as evidenced by other presidential campaigns that are at similar stages of doing so. You can see the entire statement on our website. Paul currently running for another Senate term in Kentucky. The newest Harry Potter book was released at midnight.
The latest book is actually just the script to a sold-out London play, which takes place 19 years after the last book. The previous book in the series, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, was released in 2007. At Joseph Beth Booksellers in Lexington, more than 450 people pre-ordered the book, with several hundreds more purchasing the book at a midnight release. Always some hunger for some Harry Potter.
I guess so.
There you go, those books. Now, our time this morning is 4:53. Coming up, we'll take a look at some of the stories our news team is working on for you this morning.
We'll also have another look at your Monday forecast.
Welcome back. We're coming up on 4:57 on your Monday morning on WKYT.
And it's time right now to take a look at some of the stories we're working on for you this morning.
A man accused of killing his girlfriend and dumping her dismembered body in dumpsters will be in court today. The latest details in that case in Lexington coming up in our next half hour. Some of us had a couple of showers coming into work this morning.
Yeah,
it's a little surprising.
Another first alert severe weather day, Micah.
Yeah, literally one outside, and that's passed through that 75 corridor, so it's going to be pretty wet there. Clays Ferry Bridge, go just north there in southern portions of Fayette County as you're traveling 75. Boonesboro Road's going to be pretty wet. Also Winchester getting in on the action, but now it's over the Mountain Parkway, about to travel off into that area from Mount Sterling to Camargo back toward Jeffersonville. It's a pretty heavy downpour right there, but it's brief. It's not going to cause any problems, but maybe some problems later on this afternoon with a few rumbles of thunder. We'll get into that forecast coming up with another 2 hours. WKYT News.